People reach out to me all the time trying to figure out where to live in this city, which makes sense, especially if you aren't too familiar with Philly yet. But I'm also often asked about condos versus townhomes or row houses. What's the difference? Which is best? Which one should I purchase? Does it even really matter? Wait, what the heck is a row house? In today's video, we're going to be taking a deep dive into condos versus row houses. We'll compare and contrast row house living versus condo living. I'll show you the pros and the cons to both. Now, unfortunately, at the end of the day, there isn't a blanket answer for everyone, but hopefully this video will be helpful in your process to decide what's the best for you and your particular lifestyle and needs. So stay tuned for more. Hey everyone, this is Chris Fuhrman and this is my channel Living in Center City Philadelphia. Welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Now, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn more about what it's like to live and enjoy Center City Philadelphia, make sure to tap that subscribe button and click that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified each and every time we put out a brand new video. And we actually get a lot of folks that are reaching out to us looking to relocate to the Center City Philly area, and we love helping them out. So if that's you, if you're thinking about making a move, have any questions about the market, the particular neighborhoods here, particular condo buildings, really anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out. Just send us a quick email. All of our contact info is below. All right, let's dive into condos versus row houses. Well, first let's define row houses or row home for those of you out there that have no idea what I'm talking about at this point, which is probably most of you if you're not from the area. A row house is a townhouse. It's that simple. It's an attached single-family home. In the Midwest or the South or the West Coast, everyone typically calls these townhouses. But in Philly, they're typically called row houses or row homes, with row house being the most popular common usage locally. Personally, I think row home sounds more homey than row house, but that's the most popular. And in case you were not aware, in Philadelphia, there are essentially no single family detached homes like in a typical suburb where you can walk around the entire house and not run into another house. Your housing options here are either going to be a row house or a condo. Also, while we're talking about definitions here, in Philadelphia, we typically don't call condos apartments. In some cities like New York City, they can be used interchangeably, and condos are often referred to as apartments, but typically here, we call them condos. In Philly, when you say apartment, it typically means a rental unit that you do not own. You rent that from someone else, either a private owner or a company that owns the entire building, like a management company. This leads us to what is the difference between a row house and a condo? Well, a condo is when you don't own the entire building. You own everything inside of the walls of your particular condo unit. So you usually do not own the exterior, your windows, the roof, common areas, etc. And you typically have communal access to the rest of the condominium building with the other owners. Your shared building access could merely be the hallway and the entrance to the building. In a smaller condo building, or in a larger building, your common access could be very robust, where you share usage of a fitness center, a pool, a roof deck, a terrace area, a nice lobby, elevators, the front desk staff, and even a private town car and driver for that particular condominium building. So to recap, a condo is where you own your individual unit and not the building, and a row house is where you own the entire property and you do not share any common ownership with anyone. However, there are some row home communities, so some townhome communities here, where you still do have an HOA, a board, fees, etc. And we'll get to that a little bit later in this video. All right, so now that we have some basic groundwork covered here, let's get into some key differences between the two. And there are so many differences here, but I think the biggest difference, and certainly one that has the most impact, or at least potential impact on you as a homeowner, is that with a condo, you have less control due to the condo association. If you're coming from the suburbs, if that's where you're at right now, you're probably familiar with an HOA or homeowners association. It's really the same thing. just for the condominium, it's typically called a condo association. So with a condo in Philly, you're gonna have a condo board, which is probably gonna be made up of some of your neighbors, and also a management company in most buildings. And these entities are responsible to work in the best interest of the owners to maintain the building, ensure that all owners are following the various rules, restrictions, and regulations that are set forth in the condo documents for a particular building. In short, they're there for you. They're really the parents of the building, trying to create peace and harmony for all owners. For some, having a condo association is going to be a con here, as you're going to have to submit to all of the board's rules and regulations and have less control. So if you want as much control over your home as possible, a condo may not be for you. However, before you run away from condos, let's consider one of the biggest benefits to a condo association, in my opinion. Let's chat about maintenance. One of the best benefits to condo living is that you don't have to deal with the hassle of many areas of the home maintenance, like replacing your roof, your windows, HVAC, your parking area, things like that. This is a major benefit and really why a lot of people are choosing condos, because they want that lifestyle. Maybe you're a busy professional and just don't want to deal with the hassle, or you're an empty nester and you just don't want to deal with it and you want the help, right? So just think about no more raking up leaves, shoveling snow, dealing with that type of maintenance. It could be a good fit for you. Now, of course, all of this comes at a cost. Condo associations and condo fees go hand in hand. Now, this is going to be a major difference between row home living or row house, where 90 to 95% of the time, if you own a row home in Philly, you're going to have zero condo fees. You're not going to have an HOA or condo association. Contrary to popular belief, living in a row house does not necessarily mean you're going to be saving money just because you don't have an HOA fee. You'll obviously have more control over when you fix your roof leak and who you're going to pay to fix it, how much it's going to cost. All those things are within your control and not the board's, but at the end of the day, you might not necessarily be saving money. Now, if you live in an amenity-rich building and you could care less about access to a gym, a pool, a roof deck, etc., then you will for sure save money by living in a townhome, for the most part. But there are plenty of condo buildings that don't have all of those amenities, and some with much lower condo fees. Now, condo fees are unfortunately all over the map here in Philly, really just like everywhere. So you gotta do your research, figure out what amenities you want, what you're willing to pay for. And again, I know it's confusing, so if you have any questions, just feel free to send me an email and I can help address those for you. If you wanna learn more about particular condo buildings, you can head over to my website, livingincentercity.com, to explore more videos that I have on Center City condos. One very relevant pro for condo living for many of you is that you normally get one-story living with a condo, meaning no steps, no stairs. This is great for many that have weak knees or are just done with steps in their life. You will see some condos for sale in Philly that are bi-level units with steps. Just make sure to read the listing description carefully and look at all the photos just to confirm it's one-story living. Furthermore, there are some one-level condos, but they're in buildings where you have to go walk up a number of steps, where there's no elevator and you need to go up to the second floor, third floor, fourth floor, or even the fifth floor just to get to your condo, which may be one level, but you have to go all the way up there on those steps to get there. So it's not really one level living. And those can be some pretty intense workouts. So if you're looking for it, this might be for you. However, in most mid to large condo buildings in the city, you're gonna have an elevator and only one-story living. So if that's what you're looking for, you might wanna shy away from a smaller building, look towards a low-rise, mid to high-rise condo building. And in case it's not obvious, there's essentially no such thing as one-story living in a row house or row home. Those are gonna either be 2, 3, or even 4-level houses with lots of steps. Though some homes will come with elevators, they do come on the market here or there, but it's not the most common thing in a row home, and of course it's gonna add a significant amount to the cost. Let's talk about another con, or potentially a pro, really depending on your perspective. Circling back to condo rules here, every mid to large condo building in the city, and some of the smaller ones, are gonna have rules surrounding pets and pet restrictions. Some condominiums do not allow pets at all. No cats, no dogs, etc. Some only allow cats, so no dogs. And every other building has some other form of restriction, typically on the dog, either a weight restriction or a height or a combination, and potentially also breed restrictions. Typically, aggressive breeds are not allowed, like pit bulls and things like that. So this could be a pro or a con, really, again, depending on your preferences. If you hate pets, obviously, this is a pro for you. If you like pets and you have pets yourself, then you're gonna have to look carefully at the descriptions on Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever you're looking at. And honestly, sometimes those are incorrect. I've seen a number of them in the past where the listing agent doesn't have the correct information. So if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. I can help you out with that. We've already touched on amenities a bit, but let's flesh this out a bit more. Amenities are one of the major differences between condo living and row house living. Really, we're talking about a lifestyle here. It's a lifestyle difference. When you own a row house, you have no traditional amenities and you manage everything yourself, as we've talked about. Whereas with condo living, you can choose the level of lifestyle that you want and want to pay for. Do you want a doorman? Do you want a front desk, concierge, security? Do you want a secure area to put your packages? Do you want a fitness center, a pool, an amenity center, an elevator? Do you want valet parking? Do you want a town car and a private driver to drive around the city? These are amenities in the city to think about, guest rooms, and the list really does go on. In addition to convenient amenities, condo living can give you location amenities, location benefits. Some of the nicest areas of the city are surrounded by condos. For example, if you want to live right on Rittenhouse Square, for example, overlooking the park and being really steps to all of those amenities in the green spaces of the park, a condo is really your only option, or potentially one of like 10, $2 to $5 million row houses right on the square. So if you want to be in the heart of it all, close to dining, shops, cafes, coffee shops, downtown nightlife, all of that, condo living might be a better option for you. Now, this isn't to say that you're going to be very far away if you live in a row house in Philly. It's just steps out your door, or out your building, I should say, if you're in a condo, whereas it might be a couple blocks, 3 to 10 or however many minutes away you are if you're in a row home. So it's just something to consider. Either way, Center City Philly provides both options for you. All in all, choosing between condo living and row home living really comes down to your lifestyle, preferences, your budget. Consider the trade-offs in terms of maintenance, privacy, rules and regulations, control, amenities, ownership, all these differences to determine which option better suits your needs. And click here to learn more about the differences between condo living and a cooperative in Philly, or a co-op. Yep, there's another type of home ownership in Philly. A cooperative may be a great option for some of you. Just click on the image, check it out, and enjoy.